I just reorganized my bookshelf a couple days ago, so let's do an updated bookshelf tour. The first shelf is my contemporary romance shelf. Most of these books I've already read, but there are a couple ones on my TBR, including Book Lovers, Daydream, and Terms and Conditions, but everything else I've already read up there. Then we have my Sarah J. Maas Shrine, one of my favorite authors of all time. I used to have only my Throne of Glass series up here, but I managed to fit the first two books in Crescent City. I don't have the third. To be honest, Crescent City, although it's a great series, Throne of Glass is just so much better in my opinion, so I wanted to give it its own shelf, but to save space, I put it all in one. Then we have continued fantasy on this shelf, so we have some of my favorites like Fourth Wing, Six of Crows. We have a couple in here like If We Were Villains. Not really fantasy, but it just like fit the vibes of the shelf for some reason. For the Wolf, Bride, and then the Powerless series. Leaning over is a little awkward, but I had to move you to see the bottom shelves. Down here we have my TBR shelves. This is mostly fantasy. Like I said, most of the contemporaries are up at the top that I haven't read yet. The only one is The Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Magnolia Parks. Everything else should be fantasy here. Down here we have just more miscellaneous. Most of this is fantasy, like Addie LaRue, The Familiar, Spark the Everflame, Shiver series, Infernal Devices, historical fiction, and then this one is another fantasy. And then at the very bottom, if you can see all the way down there, you probably can't, but this is some of my oldest books. I have my entire Percy Jackson series, which is some of my favorite books from childhood. I have some classics like Little Women, Anne of Green Gables. I also have Song of Achilles down there, Tattoos of Auschwitz, and This Is How You Lose the Time War. That is my bookshelf.